Grace and peace, y'all. I hope you're feeling blessed today. Ladies, this message is for you. It is time for us to get back to a point where we understand how much power we really have. And no, I'm not talking about just the pretty women. I'm not talking about just the educated women. I'm talking about all women naturally. We women were literally given the power to change and transform this world. We are the life givers. We are the ones who can make a change from within and it reflects outside of us. No, this is not a saying. This is legitimately a skill within. The only thing you got to do is master your own energy. The first thing you're going to have to do is recognize your power. Second thing you're going to have to do is start holding it for yourself. And third, learn how to use it properly. Now, most of us don't even get past step one because we've had systems put in place to make sure that we didn't even understand the power we had. If you look at the history of women, we weren't just classed as where we came from, our race. Instead of how it was for men, where it was black men beneath white men, it was all women put in a class where they were below every single man. It was not a coincidence. It was strategic. The point was to make sure that you did not understand that you had any power. It was a way of controlling the feminine energy. Now, as I stated, step 2 is to stop giving the power away. Now, if you don't know you have power, you easily can just transform it and give it to anyone. And yes, we do it, especially when we're not calculated with who we choose to be our partners. Now, this doesn't just apply to those who we choose to procreate with. I'm talking partners in business. I'm talking partners in friendship. Everyone who has close proximity to you has access to your energy. If you have access to men who don't know your worth, they are siphoning off your energy even if they don't believe you have any. And if you are around women who don't know their worth or maybe even has diminished worth, they're also ciphering your energy, just being in close proximity. And you wonder why you're walking around tired at all times. It's because you don't have any energy to pour back into you, because you keep pouring into those who are okay with taking it from you. Systems that teach that a mother is supposed to sacrifice her health, her love, her self-care, all for the sake of her children, these are not systems that are supposed to exist. Instead of you teaching that child that you sacrifice for someone when you love them, you're teaching them that they self-sacrifice and allow themselves to be depleted for everyone else to succeed. When you begin to understand these things, you become a lot more selective with who you keep around and what you begin to share with these people. It doesn't mean anything is wrong with them. It just means you're trying to keep everything right with you. Your sacral energy is there for you to fuel your endeavors, fuel your dreams, and move you into a positive direction. But when you link yourself with someone who's going to use your sacral energy to get their jobs done, you're never going to have enough in the tank for you. When it comes to relationship, anyone you are fornicating with, you are giving them access to that sacral energy. You are allowing them to tap into your most precious essence of yourself. And you can't get that back. You have to rebuild it, and it takes time. This especially applies when that person is not pouring into you emotionally. Someone pouring back emotionally allows that to recharge a bit better. But when someone is taking advantage of you and taking your sacral energy, you are on a serious decline. Now, when that happens, the only thing that can correct it is self-care, is going back to yourself and pouring back into yourself. A lot of us don't make time for it. And since you don't make time to correct it, you stay on E, and the next thing you know, you're low vibrational as well, looking for that other half of you done gave away. And then, of course, the cycle continues. If you have daughters and they've been watching you do this to yourself, they learn that this is the way. And it's not. The only way to fully solve this problem is through knowledge. Educate yourself on who you truly are. Regain that self-worth that was diminished, not only through decades of being taught that women only have a certain limit, women only have a certain use, that men cheat on every woman. They don't. A man who actually is in love with a particular woman will change his ways. We can't leave it as a full narrative that all men cheat. If there are such things as faithful men, that means it exists. But if you don't think you're worthy of it, you're not going to get it. And yes, that actually means holding out for the one who's going to give you the best of him. So yes, you may be single for a long time. Why? Because as you're rebuilding that single tank, that person is being rebuilt for you. Learning you is withdraws than the person who's supposed to be there. When you refuse to pour back into yourself and correct all of the pain that has made you deplete, you become bitter and you become agitated, and you are going to live in your masculine energy because it's easier and it keeps you safe. But survival mode is not living. If you truly want to live, you put yourself in a position where you can be the true feminine you're supposed to be without any resistance. You don't put yourself in a position where you have to live in your masculine for the sake of keeping a so-called masculine. Because if you're in your masculine, then that means he has to be in his feminine, right? Let's keep in mind, life doesn't have a schematic as to how to do this. You have people who have been successful and people who have failed at it. Now, as far as you're always going to be right in the middle because we're subject to every single direction we move ourselves in. So it's all about planning where you want to go. You are welcome to remain where you are if comfort is what you're seeking. But if you're tired of comfort for the sake of having to put yourself on the back burner, evolution might be where you are. Now, does that mean you're going to have some lonely nights? Yes. Does that mean you're going to lose some friends? Oh, yeah. Does that mean you're going to have success by moving in that direction? Definitely. But make a choice today to no longer just be a woman, but to be a divine feminine. A woman who walks in her essence, whose worth is not something that she has to talk about. It's about her presence. Be that woman. And it all starts with building your confidence and your self-worth, keeping that to yourself and stop giving it away, and then working on it daily so that it has nothing but to do but grow. All right, y'all, I'm going to leave this right here. Love and light. Peace.